Hello everyone, Tanak here. I hope you like my little new intro that my wife made for me for my 1000 subscriber. The music it was actually made by my son, so I wanted to show that to you. Today we'll do a special video. I want to analyze there's a saying like when people start to do industry, you always have somebody that will tell them, well, do ammo, you'll make money doing ammo. So I want to analyze that trope, that saying, and see if it's really, are we giving a new player good advice when we're telling them to do ammo. And we're going to do a deep dive with hybrid charge. I can't analyze like all the ammo blueprint, but we'll do some in-depth analysis of the hybrid charge production. And right off the bat, I want to show like the different types of ammo, because you got the standard build T1 ammo, you got the faction ammo, and you got the T2 ammo. So the T1 ammo is the most basic production you can have. Mineral and the blueprint, you run a build job, you will produce the ammo. The faction ammo, you will take actual T1 ammo that you either have produced or bought, and you will take a LP, loyalty point, that you have with one faction, and you will purchase that faction ammo. So this one is not as much production as it is a way to convert your LP into cash, because usually faction ammo will be worth more than the T1 equivalent, and we'll look into it a little bit. And then you go into the T2 ammo, and the T2 ammo is actually the simplest T2 production that you can make. But it's still a lot more complex than T1 ammo. So what you will need is T2 BPC that you get through invention. Well, you can always purchase the T2 BPC, but usually you will get them through invention with a T1 BPC and data core. You will need some morphite, and you will need composite material, and we'll look into that. And composite material, how do you get that? Well, you take a reaction formula and multiple intermediate material, which are themselves produced with reaction formula and moon materials that you get from refining moon ore. So this will give you your composite material, which is the main cost of producing T2 ammo will come from that, and the morphite. And then you got the RAM Amotech, which is like basic T1 production. It's really easy to do. There is no profit in it. It's really just a hassle to have to get them, but we'll look into all of that. So let's continue with the analysis. First thing off the bat is we'll look at the T1 ammo, and the best way, it's pretty straightforward. I did all the hybrid charge here. I added them all in my spreadsheet. I used for mineral value Jita buy, and I use for the market value of the item Jita buy also. My reasoning is, when I'm using Jita buy as a mineral price, is, let's say, what's the quickest way you could dump that mineral, like the less hassle free, and I want to remove trade profit from the equation. So Jita buy mean you go to Jita when where the market with the most liquidity in game, and you just dump on the market and somebody will buy it. So if I'm using Jita buy for the finished product and Jita buy for the goods that you use to produce, my reasoning is that when you're using those numbers, you're taking the actual trade profit out of the equation. Could you sell for more? Yes. Should you use today's value? That's another way to look at it. On mineral, there's not that big a spread usually, but especially like titanium, so the spread is super thin in Jita. Should you use your area sell value? That's another way to look at it, and that's the art form of the industry, is actually evaluating your build job based on real price. But anyway, what I've been using is G to buy. And if you look at the blueprint, okay, and just for the sake of argument, I'm assuming a 10 ME blueprint. So that's the maximum you can do. Like, let's say, for example, just look at the antimatter charge here. With the 10 ME blueprint, you're losing 25%. If I put it at 0 on research, you're losing 32. So I am putting, like, I'm assuming you're using fully researched blueprint. I'm assuming that you have a system cost index of 2% or production cost of 2%. It could be more or less. And I'm also assuming that you are building at like an NPC station or whatever. You're not using, I'm not counting rigs into account. So if you're using a Raitaru in low sec with a T1 rig, for example, you'll shave off 4% more out of that. So you'll get, like, you can increase that yield a little bit, I would say by a maximum of 5%. If you're using the optimal build production, optimal build spot. But still, if you look at the large, okay, they're alphabetically. So let's start with the small charge. Small charge, well, they're all of them right now with the current price, and it is true that we've been through a huge mineral increase price, but it hasn't reflected in the ammo, and ammo should be the thing that reflect the change the fastest, because there's a really high volume. So the ammo that is there should already have reflected the price. So basically the market is overproduced in ammo. You're getting, like in small charge, you're losing at least 27%, 21% on iron charge. So you're losing all the way there. So small charge, you're losing money producing that. Okay. Medium charge, you have one, for some reason, the iron charge, and that I remember when I was starting out, that for some reason that specific ammo is not is producing, maybe some less people have the idea of producing iron charge. It doesn't sound sexy or whatever, but this one you can get actually decent profit. Again, it is 89% profit, and that's the only one. This one and iridium charge are the only one that are actually good profit. The rest you can get 34 on thorium. So you got three ammo here that are producing you a little bit. But the thing is, how much will you produce per day? And medium charge here, without doing the, well, we'll check right now. Okay, let's go into Lazy Blacksmith and iridium medium. Okay, and they're more or less all the same. Okay, so it's 10 minutes by build job. So you can build like 100. You can build the, well, okay, we'll go with the little calculator here. Okay, so 10 minutes. So you'll do 6 build job per hour, times 24 hour, times 100. So, okay, you can improve that with time efficiency a little bit, but more or less, like, okay, for easier math, 1,500 per day. Okay. You'll make 89% profit. But how much is the cost of one item? 16. So for the sake of just okay, we'll do the real math. Okay, 16 for We'll make 89% of that. So producing that for a day, you will make a massive 21,000 ISK. You need to produce a lot of ammo to make money at that point. Okay, so worth it? Worth your time? I think that if you're telling a newbie to build that, you're making him waste his time. Personally, I think I mean, for me, the way I see it is just it's not worth wasting a build slot for a day to make 21,000. But again, opinion may vary if you enjoy. But at least if you're building that one, you're making a profit. While the other one, there's a lot that you're actually losing money. And large charge, well, they're all losing money except this one here, which is making barely 4%. So that pretty much covered the T1 ammo part. Okay. Now let's go with the faction. Okay, faction, like I said, pretty straightforward. You got like antimatter charge, drop LP, and you will get the Federation Navy or what Caldari Navy or whatever sort of navy you want or faction you want, and you can sell that for more. So you will turn, and this site, I will put all the site that I'm in, but on Fuzzwork here, you can see that you're getting basically 621 ISK per LP, which is it's not super good. But it is an easy way to convert money, and it will sell relatively fast. So that goes for the faction. Now T2 is where it starts to get interesting. Okay, so the first thing, like I said before, for T2 is you need invention. How does that work? Okay, well, you take a blueprint copy, which are incredibly cheap to get. Okay, so we'll go, for example, we want to build Void L. Okay, you'll take a blueprint copy, and the higher your science skill are, the more chance of success you get. Okay, I'll go back in here. Do I have a way to? Okay, so the first step would be to take a blueprint like this, and you would go in invention here, and you would use data core and the blueprint. So let's say I want to use one blueprint, so it's going to take me one data core of each, and I got a chance of it succeeding. And to be able to actually run the invention job, you have some base skill, but your chance of success is impacted by the skill that you have. So if I add more plasma physics, I would get more skill, and there's implant and there's stuff to increase your chance of success. So that's for the invention part. You run the job, and if you're successful, you will get a T2 blueprint. And then you get your T2 blueprint like here. The one you will get will depend. Okay, one thing that I didn't say is you also have the option of using decryptor. And I haven't included decryptor in the math because, especially for ammo, you would pay a lot of ISK to start using decryptor for ammo jobs. So it would be like a total waste of time. But you have some decryptor that will increase your probability of success. Some that will increase the ME of the resulting blueprints. Some will increase the number of run. So, but you would usually reserve that for ships. So for ammo, you will get something like this, okay, which is a typical 2-4 blueprint. They're always 2-4 if you didn't use a decryptor, and you need Morphite. You need those composite material, which are a result of reaction, and you need that RAM tech thingy, which is a T1 production. And it's the same basic job as usual. You can produce that. You can produce that like using a build slot. Now, what I did here is I calculated the value of the blueprint based on maximum skill, just to assuming that somebody would be maximum skill. If I would go personally, like let's say, okay, the cost per run, because each blueprint can run 10 times, so the cost per run for me is the total cost of the data core divided by 10, because it will run 10 times. And this is the cost of the data core divided by the chance of success. So let's say if I add less skill, well, it would increase the value of my blueprint. You could replace that with blueprint that you buy and the value of the bought blueprint. That's another option. Since the blueprint market is not that fluid, I rather calculate if I would run the job myself. Now, the way you calculate that is you have your blueprint cost, you have your mort fight, you have your composite material, which I use Jita buy just to calculate that, and you got that the RAM tech thingy, which I use Jita buy too. And if you want to build like those RAM tech, RAM ammo tech, they are like super bad. If you get the idea that okay, I'm gonna produce that because it's used in all ammo production, well, you're not the only one that had that idea. It's really not worth producing. They're cheap, they're easy to make, and nobody. I mean, yeah, people will buy them because they're cheaper to buy than they are to make. But so anyway, and the cost of that on the grand scheme of things is negligible. You could probably not count it and it wouldn't change a thing. The real costs come from these components. Even the blueprint value is not that significant compared to the overall value, except when you're using like a small charge here, where the blueprint, because small, medium, large, they're the same number of data core to make, but they take a lot less of the other components. So it's about 1/3 of the cost for a small charge and about like 1/20th for the large. And anyway, I calculated the profit margin here, and there's more place where you can make money. You will make money under reaction, okay? If you're running the reaction yourself, the first level of reaction is you can optimize that a little bit with a rig structure. Again, I'm using Jita buy. The second level of reaction right now is very profitable. So if you want to save the hassle, you could buy, if you're able to, get your hand on some of the produce, like the intermediate material, and run reaction yourself. If you have access to a low-sec structure, you can make money running, like they are all pretty decent profit right now, the second level. Again, always check your number, because I'm telling you might be looking at that video 2 months from now and the number can be all over the place compared to now. So you always need to run your own number there. But anyway, you could still make money. And that one here, if you're looking at a null S, say, wow, 130% profit. So let's go back with the calculator here. Did I close it? Okay. So again, we are going here, and a blueprint will actually make 5,000. So how much of that can you do a day? Well, again, we're going on Lazy Blacksmith. We will try to do null S. 1 hour, 20 minutes to run. Okay. So how much of those jobs can you do? Well, you will run every 4 hour 3 job. So you will run like 18 per day. Again, you might squeeze a little ounce of profit if you're squeeze a little ounce of a production job if you're rigged properly, but that's more or less what you'll get. So 18 job per day. Each job will produce 5,000. And the cost per item is 24. And you will make 130%. So you will make, like right now, producing null S, you could be making 2.8 million per day for running T2 production. So we're talking about setting up a chain to get access to have reaction, to have material, to get to 2 million per day. So let's say you're using let's go all out. Okay, you have 11 production job. Okay, a production slot. Well, you're making 24 mil per day. I mean, it's not nothing. Is it good? Like that 2 million per day that you're making, it's what, 20 minutes of mining in ISK? So again, is that, I mean, it is significant if you're looking at 130% profit to say, wow, but I mean, should you, and again, if you're looking at those larger one, well, those larger one, there's more value per item, so you're probably good. You could be, if you add those kind of number, you could be making more, but still, it's not really. Personally, I think it's not really worth your time. Now, when I see people advising newbie to make ammo, you really check the number. I mean, if you want to learn the production system, sure, that's a great way to look at it. I mean, you're learning, you're using. I mean, I remember when I did produce my first T2 ammo. I was like, wow, cool! I'm making my own ammo for my Vindicator. That's I mean, I was super happy. But is it worth my time? I'm not sure. So that's kind of my perception on it. And I've just run hybrid chart. Okay, you would need to, if you decide to, like, I don't know, do autocannon ammo or run your own number. The same reasoning would be there. I mean, just apply the same reasoning with the thing you're trying to produce and see if it's worth your time or not. But personally, I think that advising people to build ammo as a way to get into industry is not doing them a favor. Now, why is that? Why do we have jobs that are so low? Well, the thing is, people will not sell at Jita Sell. People will build those and they will get trade profit. A good example here is that null L here. Okay, right now, okay, well, that was when I did the sheet this afternoon, so we'll see if it changed a little bit. Okay, Voidel, for example. Well, Voidel is a good example. Okay, get the number up to date. So right now, at the TTT or in Jita, you're getting like 176. Okay, you get a seller in Jita for 189. I'm firing at least 10,000 of those when I run incursion for a night. If you buy them at the system where they're running incursion right now, you can sell them for 450. So, but that's not production profit. That's trade profit. So the reason why these are so low is that people are confusing trade profit with production profit, or they're producing for themselves. They're producing themselves and they're just going at a place where they will get more money selling it. So, and I mean that work overall at the end of the day, you're making money, but you would make more money buying the stuff in Jita and instead of producing it yourself and going to sell it, except for those few that are positive. So that's my reflection on buying ammo. That's my in-depth analysis of the hybrid charge market. I hope you guys enjoy. So see you Friday for the usual industrial empire update. Bye bye, guys.